Okay, this is an ogive curve thing and question, and it is pretty straightforward. For some of the questions are really easy, but the second question is quite challenging. And so I'm going to do the first question and the third question just quickly here. Um, there's a whole bunch of people that 100 people. These all add up to 100. It says there's 100 people, and we know that they paid a certain amount for their cell phone. The estimated mean, when you do the estimated mean, it's 309 rand. But to be able to do this question 2.2, you really have to understand estimated mean. But let's just look at the first one. How many paid 200 or less? Well, here it is. X is less than or equal to 200. It's 7 people paid between 0 and 100. We don't know what they paid, but they were in that range. And 12 people paid between 100 and 200. So that's 19. The number of people that paid 200 rand or less is 19. Okay, the first two class intervals. The modal class is the class with the most, and that's this range here from 300 to 400. That's called the modal class. Now, we're supposed to show that A actually equals 24. They tell us, and B is 16. Now, we can use that to make the ogive curve, but how could we do that? Well, you can only do it if you really understand that how to work out an estimated mean. And what you have to do is you go to the middle here, 50 times 7 plus 150 times 12. You have to go to the middle, 250 times A, 350 times 35. You're going to have to build an equation. But one thing you know is they all add up to 100. So these numbers, they add up to, I think, 60, but all of these add up to 100. But you have to know how they work. Now, there's two ways of doing it. I'm going to show you the way I did it first over here in blue. And all I did is I took the 7 people times the middle, the 12 people times the 150, and then A, I don't know, times 250, 35 times 350, 450 times B, 6 times 550. I got all these numbers, and I added them all together, and I knew that they equaled the estimated mean of 309. So when I divide by 100, I get 309. Well, I take the 100 and multiply it by 309. I add up all these numbers and take it away from 30,900. I get 13,200. And then I divided everything by 10, I think, and then I divided by 5, and I got my first equation, 5a plus 9b. But I know all these add up to 60. The numbers add up to 60, so A and B must add up to 40. Well, here I have two equations. If I multiply this equation, A plus B equals 40, 100 minus 60 is 40, I get 5A plus 5B equals 200. Now, these two equations are quite nice because when I subtract them, 9b minus 15b, this is called the linear method, it's 4b. And 264 minus 200, that's 64. Divide by 4, oh, b is 16. And if they add up to 40, a must be 24. I've done it. Now, this is the way they did it. The memo was worked out with the program that we looked at here. Anyways, there's another way of doing it, and it's kind of a substitution method. You know, if A plus B equals 100, B equals 40 minus A. So you replace B with 40 minus A, and then you just solve for A, and you'll get the same answer. But that's pretty tricky. That's a lot of work, but you don't have to know it to carry on. So I'm going to do the ogive thing in the next question.